Okay, we're back with this beautiful waterfall. Look at this. That's a pretty cool looking waterfall.
It's okay.
Okay. Does this game look
I think
okay
we can do
to you?
better than that.
Does this game look okay to you?
No, it looks like crap.
Anyway, hey guys, it's Zach and Eric. Welcome to episode 45 of Skyward Sword. Last episode,
You got an evil crystal. This solid chunk of pure crystallized monster malice is extremely rare. Kinda makes you wonder why the water dragon had it in her, own personal chambers. Maybe she is evil.
No, that is not what we got last episode. Last episode, we went and did the Skyview Temple over again, which, as I've stated, I'm like, why? Why can't I just go... One, why can't the Sacred Water just be, like, right here? You know what I mean?
That would be easy, and it wouldn't take an extra amount of time that they're using to pad out the game because they rushed to get this to market.
I fail to see how rushing would be like, oh, we need to pad out the game.
Basically because it's like, okay, we've got a Zelda game. Okay, it takes about 5 hours to complete. We need to make this longer.
I guess. Honestly, I'd be okay with a 5-hour Zelda game. Wasn't the first game, like, somewhere around there?
Not if you were playing it for the first time.
Nah, that's true.
Yes, just look at that color. There's no doubt this is the water I need. Quickly, boy, pour it into the basin. And you just dump it on the ground in front of her.
Yeah. Yeah.
You're just like, you sent me to that same place again? Pour it out on the ground and just stare into her eyes as you do it. Just like...
Well, look, it looks like he did pour it on the ground. Look at that dark shadow beneath him.
Uh-huh.
Also, how did she fit into that tiny little basin?
Well, she was smaller then. Exquisite. I can feel its energy surging through me. Behold, the full majesty of Farron, water dragon and guardian of these lands. I stand tall, healed and whole once again. Human, not a human. You have done well to bring me the sacred water I asked you for. I see now it was no coincidence that you completed the goddess's trial and obtained a water dragon scale. In turn, I will grant you the favor you have asked of me and lead you to the sacred flame of my land. It's right through there, and I have to do something very small to make it available to you. Come. Now, behold.
She's waterbending.
Yep, just stop the waterfall, and now, yeah, it's right here. So, the sacred flame you seek lies within this place. While the waterfall has barred entrance to this place for many years, monsters have still found a way in, and inside they flourish. It's kinda like I really suck at my job. Ah, but you're the goddess's chosen hero. Swatting a few monsters will be no trouble for you. It's not like I could be bothered with it. I imagine you and I will cross paths again. Until then, do not lower your guard. Farewell, boy. Well, I have to say your manners suck, Water Dragon, but you know.
So, okay. I guess, okay. There we go.
Couldn't even, like, give us a bridge, you know, move a few of those lily pads for us. Jeez.
Yeah, certainly.
What a jerk.
So again,
man,
why
it's
can't you
so
just
big.
tell me with the location? Why did I have to go and get some sacred water and do a whole temple I already did again, over again, and then...
Because she's a lazy jerk who wanted you to do a fetch quest for her.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, to pad out the game.
Anyway, so, this actually, I've been saving a topic that I wanted to talk about, and just kind of further, like, prove why I actually like the game. And I think now is probably a good time to talk about it. I really enjoy this temple. I actually straight up really enjoy it. I like the layout of it. I like the design of it. I think it's pretty cool. And for me, where Zelda shines really, aside from a story and, like, you know, and the gameplay, it's the dungeons. And like when a Zelda game has good dungeons, I don't give it a, well, I was gonna say like I give it a pass, but like I look past some of the smaller, or some of the shortcomings, because I'm like, yeah, but I still really enjoyed a lot of these temples. And it's been, like, I've heard from people, yeah, like, when a Zelda game comes out and they don't necessarily like it, when the next one comes out, they have a deeper appreciation for the one that came before. Like, as such, I heard, like, you know, and I actually remember this when Wind Waker was coming out. People didn't like the graphics, right? They thought it was like, you know, well, why is it so cartoony looking and everything? And probably didn't like some other aspects of it. Oops. And, but then, like, Twilight Princess comes out, and then they're like, oh, well, you know, Wind Waker's actually not that bad. You know? And that's just kind of like what I've heard before. Oh. You got an Embero.
Yeah, right.
Alright. And so I'm like, okay, alright, well, fair enough if we look at it that way. Well, let's look at what came out after this. Breath of the Wild, right? That was the next major game that came out after Skyward Sword. Okay, what did Breath of the Wild have? You know, it had some great graphics, some decent, you know, some better gameplay, certainly. You know, you don't have the motion controls with the sword and everything. It also did, unfortunately, have a stupid durability system with all the equipment, which, you know, is fine, and I understand why it's there, but I felt like the, some of the equipment, especially some of, like, the, better, swords and stuff, would just still break just as easily as some of the lesser equipment, and then it's just kind of like, well, then what's the point of this? Why even have a better item or better sword if it's just going to break just as easily as everything else?
This metal blade has the same durability as a piece of wood.
So, yeah, exactly. And so that was just kind of one thing. The other thing, and this is where, this is the topic that I want to bring up. The other thing, and Eric, I don't want to, like, give too much away for spoiler reasons, because I know you haven't really played it. But, like, the temples that you do in that game, honestly, are very, very boring.
Yeah.
I
like
mean...
Skyward Sword? No.
No, not really. Like, I like the idea of the divine beasts and everything. Like, it's great on paper. However, when you actually get there, there are, like, almost no enemies. You know, there's very few of them, and they don't respond. There's no mini-boss, and they all center around some major central gimmick that's easy, or that makes all these puzzles just easy. And you can solve it in probably half an hour. And then the temple bosses aren't even really anything special to write home about. And that's really about it. it's very lackluster. And so I'm thinking about that, and I'm comparing it here. Okay, well, we just came off of Skyward Sword. Honestly, this game has the better dungeons comparatively. They're more interesting. They're more laid out. There's more to do in them, and there's actually some enemies that can well, not take some time to fight, but they some enemies that are more than a. Okay, I guess we just have to go around. Yep, there we go.
It's coming after me!
There we go. All right. Anyway.
Yeah, I feel like, though, as far as, like, not having a bunch of enemies in the dungeons, the reason for that is because there's a lot more, like, emphasis on there being sort of enemies and things in the world itself, too. I don't know, it's like...
Maybe, but you have enemies in the world...
thing.
Yeah. Well, you have enemies in the world itself, like here. Like, we fought some enemies just out and about in the forest. Yeah.
I know, but, like, here you have less of a choice of whether you want to be, like, have those enemies coming after you. Whereas in Breath of the Wild, it's like, okay, if I don't want to deal with these enemies, I'll just, like, climb up this mountain over here and glide past them or whatnot, So I guess that's what I'm saying. It's like there's less of an emphasis on the combat in a way. But yeah.
Okay, but less of an emphasis on the combat in Zelda games, which are, prized for their combat. Like Wind Waker had a really fun combat system.
Mm-hmm.
And I actually really enjoyed it.
The other thing to keep in mind, though, in a way, is that so the original Legend of Zelda, unless, like, a room required you to kill all the enemies in it to, like, progress, you didn't necessarily need to kill all the enemies. As a matter of fact, there's, like, dungeons where you don't even have to go into all the rooms, if you don't want to. And, I mean, you can actually beat that game without getting several of the items, even.
Right.
So, it's like... Breath of the Wild was kind of trying to embrace that, in a way. It's like, okay, here's a world, go do,
Mm-hmm.
Like, you have an objective, but do it however you want. So, like, that's why I think they were doing that.
You're right. And there's nothing wrong with having a Zelda game and having that non-linear playstyle. Like, I really enjoyed, exploring the land and fighting some monsters along the way. But at the end of the day, I'm like, okay, so I did that, and then I have these temples that really I just don't enjoy as much.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then you have like some of the smaller, shrines, which some of them were actually quite fun. But then a lot of them are like repeats and can also be kind of boring.
Yeah.
It's like, really, again, another major test of strength. Okay. and so for me, it felt a little lackluster in that regard. And that's why I kind of look back at Skyward Sword and I go, well, yeah, there's some of these shortcomings, but I also really enjoy a lot of these dungeons. And I actually enjoy coming back through and playing this again more than Breath of the Wild. Like, Breath of the Wild, years after I stopped playing it, or like years after I beat it, actually, I tried to play it again. I got a little ways in, and then I ultimately put it down because I just got bored of it. Skyward Sword has some problems, but I'm actually excited to go through a lot of these temples, despite the shortcomings. Dang it. Okay. Dang it. Okay. I forgot the order, and I was trying to find it. That's why, why I was like taking my time through this while we were talking. I can't remember where it is.
I don't know. Did it say anything on the thing about it?
It said someone might know about it. Check the gemstone forwarding in the four directions wisely. Oh!
Oh no, it's the temple's secret order.
Right. I think I remember where it is now. I think it's like back at the beginning. Okay. Dang it.
So maybe we should go check that thing in the beginning.
But we can't get out of here.
I'm sure there's some way.
Oh, okay. I thought it was gonna stop me. I can't remember how this went.
Yeah.
Ow. Ah!
Well, I mean, to be fair, in a game like Ocarina of Time or Majora's Mask, the water thing would have just pushed you out. But in Skyward Sword, that's not the case. So, you know, if you played previous Zelda games, other than recognizing that this game sucks, then you'd also be like, oh, I can't get out of this room.
It's back down this way. Anyway, so where was I?
I mean, I think you said.
I think I probably said everything I had to say about it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Let's see. Oh, yeah, there.
Carved into the great statue are inscriptions of gratitude. They reveal the secret order of this temple.
Yeah, that's what I meant. Yeah.
First the back, then the rear, then the back of the right hand, and finally the back of the left hand.
First the back, then the rear.
Alright, so we have to find its butt. No, it's like...
The back of the right hand, the back. Oh, right. Okay. That
you have
okay.
to go find
Yeah.
those things.
Yeah. All right.
So, up.
Let's see.
It's up there.
It's up here.
No, I mean, it's behind you, but the direction is up.
Oh, okay. So we start with up first. Got it.
Or at least hitting the top one, yeah.
Yeah. So top, and then rear. So down here. Oh. Up, down.
Down.
Okay. And then back of the right hand.
Yeah, and then back of the left, I think. Or is it back of the left, back of the right? I don't remember.
And where's the hand?
You're underwater.
Ah, there it is.
Because, of course, they're trying to keep us slowed down as much as possible.
Ah! I remember that.
Somebody
it actually,
got
that,
greedy.
it actually surprised me the first time. Okay.
Yeah. So the thing is, like,
Left.
that can
Left or right.
help
Okay.
you,
Up, down, left, right.
but yeah, like you can see the symbol, I think, when they close their hand, but you know.
Mm-hmm.
Oh goodness.
Okay, now how do we get back? Oh, right.
Yeah, you just kind of gotta go to a lower level part.
There we go.
There you go.
Up, down, left,
Yeah. So like, this thing here, it's like, first of all, I think the wording of the puzzle's really kind of stupid.
right. Yeah.
You know, it's like back and rear, which in English both can mean the same thing. You know, and
It
it's
might,
like,
it might as well. Oh. Well, they didn't respond.
Yeah.
Webs did for some reason. Okay.
Like, I feel like it's sort of a more direct translation, but it's like it would have a different meaning. You know? I mean, it would be one thing if it was like, you know, the back, the stomach, the left hand, right hand, whatever, you know?
Yeah, or
But
the back,
it's...
the butt, you know?
Yeah, basically it's like, oh, well, we can't say that because Americans would be, like, offended by that. And it's like...
Really?
Yeah, well, whatever. Well, because, you know, I mean, even though this game is, like, I don't know, I can't remember if it's E10 Plus or T, but,
I can't remember either.
It's like, you know, parents aren't going to listen to that stupid stuff. They're going to be like, oh, you said butt in my kid's game. Like,
Yeah, so...
or they could have said, like, back. They could have said, you know, like, backside, something like that. I don't know. But it's just like... And the other thing is, they make it so you have to swim for 90% of that, or I guess technically 75%. But, you know, it's like, okay, just, you know, you have to do this incredibly slow swimming to find out what this code is. And it just... It comes across to me as more padding and busy work. It's like, this isn't fun, this is just, hey, you need to do this, okay. I think you can use the beetle to cut their strings and they fall into the water and die.
That's what I was trying to figure out.
So, like, you have the, you know, it's like, it just takes time. It's not like it's difficult, but also with the wording, it's like, you know, you could get confused and be like, well, where's the back? Where's the rear? You know, like, is this, like, supposed to be some kind of forced perspective where this statue is, like, turned partially? And so, like, the back of the... Like, its back is not at the rear of the building or the statue or whatnot, or, you know, it's just... it's really just seems... You know,
so you heard
drawn
it
out
here,
and
folks.
pointless.
You heard it here first, folks. Eric, you know, doesn't like taking time in a video game. He just wants to get it over with.
I don't like taking pointless time. You know, it's like, oh, you need to find out this thing. It's not like an auditory puzzle. It's not like even a visual timing puzzle, like, you know, make me play some Simon or whatnot with the door. It's just... It's just like, okay, slowly swim around until you find these things that we've blatantly told you where they are. It's not even like, hey, here's a puzzle, you know, like, oh, you need to solve this puzzle and it will reveal the order. It's just swim around slowly to the like 4 places we tell you to go, and then that's the code. And I'm just like, why? Just why, Nintendo? I mean, it could have been something cool like, oh, okay, you get a mirror shield item, and it's a symbol, like the symbols on the mirror shields that you get, you know? And it's like, oh, so it's, you know, the colors of this aligned with the colors of the Triforce, you know? Just something that's lore building, or, you know, something you need to notice that's not just, hey, let me spend 5 minutes, you know, swimming around this place. You got a small key. This key will open a locked door. You can only use it in this area, even though this is the second time you've gotten a small key in this playthrough session. And even though I say it will only work in this area, it is, again, designed exactly like the other one was.
Okay, guys. Well, I would love to keep continuing this story right now with Eric and his view, and unfortunately, due to time, we're going to have to edit that whole segment out of the show. That's actually a callback to Greg's show. I thought it was a hilarious segment years ago. Anyway, So, well, we can keep this going in the next episode. We're at 25 minutes here. So thank you all so much for watching. Let us know what you thought of today's episode down in the comments below. Don't forget to check out Pokemon Fire Ash coming out on Friday. And, Eric, is this the third episode or fourth that we've recorded? I've lost track.
I believe this is the third,
This
even
is the
if
third?
it feels like the 8th.
Okay. Don't forget to check out our stream coming out on Saturday, live 10 a.m. Twitch and YouTube. Some fun stuff happening there. And Monday for Kingdom Hearts 3 Roxas. Tuesday for Undertale. And as always, guys, we'll see you next Wednesday, excuse me, for episode, whatever episode we're on, 46? Yeah, 46.
Like a Pikachu!
46 of Skyward Sword. Alright, thank you all so much for watching. Have a great rest of your Wednesday. We'll see you guys then.